time for the teams and drivers to pack up and leave Paul Ricard, fly halfway around the world for the next and final round of the GT3 Championship for Season 5, which takes place at the classic circuit of Suzuka in Japan. But before we move on to the action for the next round, let's have a quick recap of the events at Paul Ricard. Antonis McCormick of Breakdancers qualified in pole position, with Hubert Aigner qualifying in second. A number of drivers picked up penalties as a result of stewards' inquiries, with Lev Bolokon of 420 Racing getting a drive-through penalty, David Yellon of SVR Team getting a 30-second stop-go, and Kieran Wilson picking up a drive-through penalty to be taken at the start of the race. But when the flags dropped and the lights turned green, the field got away safely, with Antonis McCormick moving away quickly to try and establish an early lead, and Thomas Sajak eventually slipping into second place behind him. However, one driver who didn't fare so well early on in the race was Manuel Duque, caught from behind by Urti, suffered some damage and ended up pitting. Manuel Duque second place in the Drivers' Championship and needed at least a victory on this round to stand any chance of wrestling the title away from Hubert Aigner. Not a great start. Meanwhile, up front, Thomas Sajak eventually got through on Antonis McCormick to take the lead of the race, only 3 laps in. But inexplicably, at the pit stop round, Sajak drove straight into the end of the pit wall, incurred damage, and as a result of likely repairs during the pit stop, McCormick took the lead. Well, the battle was even closer, because as both cars just emerged from the pit lane exit, Hubert Aigner came through to join the battle for the lead of the race. It was Hubert Aigner who eventually emerged again, leading the race after the pit stop phase was over, and with around 12 to 13 laps left to go, it was only Antonis McCormick who was in close contact. However, it was only a few laps later that McCormick picked up a drive-through penalty, effectively eliminating the threat from Aigner for the lead of the race. Meanwhile, in an event that was to shape the end of the race for many drivers, it was Steph Farrell versus Thomas Sajak as they swept around the end of the Mistral Straight into the complex that made up Sector 3. Sajak and Farrell came together, allowing Voodoo and Rodriguez to slip through, but it was Farrell's rejoining of the track right into the path of Nils Nins that effectively wrote off both their races. Farrell electing to pit for repairs, which would take some time, whereas Nils Nins elected to stay out on track, a decision that would cost him many places as he tumbled down the field in the last half of the race. So that left the battle between Voodoo and Rodriguez of Breakdancers, between who would take second and third place behind Aigner. Rodriguez taking advantage of the tow down the Mistral Straight before emerging from behind Voodoo's Bentley to sweep around the corner at the end of the Mistral and take the lead, moving into second place. But it was Hubert Aigner who took another victory, Hugo Rodriguez in second, and Voodoo in third. Those were the final positions for Paul Ricard. Their impact on the Drivers' Championship was that Hubert Aigner has been crowned champion of Tier 7 for Season 5 of the GT3 Championship. His lead now of 171 points over second place Manuel Duque cannot be beaten. This leaves the rest of the drivers to battle it out for second place in the Drivers' Championship, with Manuel Duque currently in the strongest position. In third place it's Thomas Sajak, just 39 points behind Manuel. So having a look at the team's championship, 420 Racing still in the lead position, 141 points clear of TWG Motorsports. SVR Team are in third and only just ahead of Shadow Lotus AMR, who are just 1 point clear of Breakdancers, who are in fifth. Then it's Beeswax Racing, and in seventh place Lotus. The main event at Suzuka is going to be a night race starting at 7:30 in the evening and moving through into 9 o'clock. Yes, it's 90 minutes this time round, so drivers will be allowed to refuel at the pit stop. Weather conditions are, it's been a warm and clear day. There's only a 20% chance of rain, and if that stays off, the track will be cool, but in good condition. Let's move on to qualifying ahead of the main race.
Well, that's last qualifying lap today.
Hello, hello. Maximum concentration at the moment. Trying to do a decent lap. What was a lot of curb. Kept it on the track, only just.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
We have another fuel for another run straight after this one. Oh, it's gone below 2. Last. Definitely not faster now.
We're running on fumes, mate.
1/10 of a second in my last lap, so that's consistent anyway.
You've just done a 203.31.
So the weather is nice. Track's in good condition. Let's hope it carries through the race. Lucky old Nins caught the rain on Sunday for the practice race, and apparently it was horrific. And he destroyed his tyres, but that's Nins for you. Hopefully a nice dry race. And this is the final race of the season. The final time out in the McLaren for quite some time, probably. But ironically, the McLaren's really good on this track. Although not in my hands at the moment. I've done a 201 a couple of times in practice. Did a 202 just now in free practice, just before this session. At the moment, doing a 203. We should get another go after this.
The guy ahead has just done a 203.08.
Down in 20th out of 23, just to show you how tight it is. Lord Nem's right behind me. I've got to improve. Got to stay away from Lord Nem. Try not to catch the curb this time. Better. Oh, he's going to actually 203 again. Damn, it has.
That's your quickest lap in this session.
Pull
Okay,
over.
Stevie, 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left.
And let's go straight away. I really don't like qualifying for some reason.
It exits clear.
Right, 4 minutes.
That's
Time to
right
get out
flag.
and maybe have 2 goes. I'm very, very quick. Just never understand where my pace goes when it comes to qualifying. It's not like I'm nervous because I don't even expect to do well. got a tyre off somewhere, but it's only the outlap, so it doesn't matter. Last night I got 7 cut warnings in this race, so I got 1 drive through. I was on the verge of another. So let's hope we don't get the same again tonight, because the drive through would really put me right down the field. Right. Time for 1 flying lap. I think we should get 2 in.
The leader has just done a 2:00.4.
So not under 2 minutes. Quite surprising. Probably will do on the last lap. This is tidy so far. 0.76 up, which is pretty good. Got to keep it together though. Already slipped down to 0.68. It's down to 0.5. Don't think my exit out of Gt4 was aggressive enough. It's all slipping away. Slipped over 203 again. No improvement. Now down in 20th.
P20. Sector 3 time is quick.
To watch myself
Yellow flag.
being too aggressive now. This is last chance saloon.
We estimate you've got 5 minutes of fuel remaining.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
It's all looking okay so far for a decent last lap, but we're only halfway round. There's a lot of time in the hairpin somehow. Lots of time.
There must be an accident. The yellow flags are out.
Looks like I 202.5, which ain't bad for me.
Session is now.
Made up 1 place in the end, 19th. Well, well. What the hell's going on? You guys turned up and gone pole.
End of the session. P19.
Oh, that's a bit interesting. So it's the final race of the season, and we've had a couple of new drivers And one of them's gone to pole position. Novotny. Agner will be worried, except he's won the championship. And there's another new guy who's behind me. Yurik is a new guy tonight as well. Roth was here last week. Best Lobby race setup, eh? Right, it's all set. No rain. It's a little bit warm. Sure we'll manage. Duke's 13th. Voodoo up in 4th. I thought the Bentley was doing quite bad this week. Every time I saw them practicing and stuff, they were looking pretty grim. Lord Nem. Oh, he's right behind me. It's the battle from the start with Lord Nem. I can't remember if he's got any drive-through. Oh, his drive-through for number 95. Farrell got a drive-through after the incident we may have noticed last week. Slight coming together with Nins from a rejoin. And Sajak did too for the actual incident that led to Farrell being off the track. Hey, man, it's Memi Soglu this week. Oh, that's a shame. Memi Soglu's not back this week. He's only made a couple of races this season, so that's unfortunate. He's not here. So Agner starts in second. Rodriguez, it's the usual players at the front with the new guy. Nins down in 6. Sandbagger. Yeah, now the season's over and he can't be moved. He's suddenly moved up the field. Have we all noticed that, folks? And Duque was asking us not to abuse Nins during the pre-race briefing. Can't be done. Has to be done. It's part of the job. 2 minutes to go. 13 8th. Dami IO, TWG Motorsports, 9 and 10. So Farrell's Shadow Lotus AMR, but he's got a drive-through at the start. Breakdancers in 3rd. Very, very tight in the teams. So there were penalties. Unlike the introduction, there were penalties dished out last night, which actually I only got to apply just before this race, and they've reversed the team's order. So it's actually Breakdancers ahead of Shadow Lotus AMR. So it's really tight for those team positions. Unfortunately, as I'll be racing, I won't really be able to tell you how that's looking regards to who's in front. 420 racing, so Duque and Balocon. Duque's in 13th, Balocon's in 14th for 420 racing. They are over 100 points clear of TWG Motorsports, which is Ragnarsson and AO, and they're in 9th and 10th. So if they stay within a few places of them, then they've got it done. If Balocon and Duque finish right at the back, Ragnarsson and AO have to finish well up the field if they're to take the team championship the last round. Other than that, it's super tight, and I don't think we'll know until the actual points are entered, which is, you should go and watch the highlights report, shouldn't you really, for that one, because that'll have the fully finalised tables at the end of it, unless there's massive stewards' inquiries that follow on. But I'm afraid it's not been a good season for Beeswax Racing. Nins may have mysteriously got quicker at the end of the season, but I've not. And I need to try and figure out what on earth's going on with me in qualifying. Didn't see the times, but 2 or 2.5 was about what I've been doing all the way through practice with the odd 2:01. So I don't know. Maybe I need a coaching session with the fast Nils, not the one I know. 40 seconds to go. Soon hit drive. Mustn't forget to turn my lights on or I'll get a drive-through penalty. So try and keep our nose clean at the back of the race. Last night in the practice race, I just generally made my way forward by staying out of trouble. But everybody had a bit of an off. Right, lights are on. Engine start, 20 seconds. Last slip of coffee. So a 90-minute race. Pit stop. I'm set for a pit stop dead on 45 minutes, really. I've got just enough fuel. I hope that's wrong because that says 15 litres.
Go in single file.
I've loaded the quality setup, haven't I? So that's my race, interestingly affected. Can't return to the garage. Right. Very interesting. Right, we're going to be fueling then in just 5 laps. That's going to fuel everybody.
Low tire pressure, stay away from curbs.
So let's set up that pit stop now. could have made such a schoolboy error, everybody. I don't know if it'd be tyre pressures are set. This is a real schoolboy error for the last race. Too much time talking to you lot. Oh well, we'll just see what we can do with it. Sure, Lord Nem was behind me. I was in front of me. Okay, that's a strange thing to put in chat. I think we had the discussion, where was it? It was on Discord. Apparently my secret love child is Steve Carey, which is a scary thought. Afraid my focus is on what the hell I'm going to do in this race now. I ain't got tyre pressures set. I'm going to max out on fuel.
P19. Alright, Stevie, nice and neat.
Some fresh
Stay out of
tyres on
trouble.
as well. Get to position. What a cock up. I think I might end up double stopping anyway, so we'll check these pressures, I think. See how they do, that'll give us a good idea. Just work around it, I guess.
Go, left side. He's still there. He's still there. He's still there.
Clear on the left.
Oh, that's going to not
Still
wend
there.
well for
Clear
Ivanov.
left. Car left. Hold your line.
Car on the left.
Clear left.
Clear on the left.
Massive overspeed for Ivanovs, and he ended up on the grass. And it was only going to go in one direction because everybody else was turning in towards him.
B16.
Too close there, going into 130R.
On your left.
On the left.
Clear left.
Clear on the left.
Small mistake from Dammy Hume there.
We're running
Declan
on
Hume.
fumes, mate. Hit this lap. In this
Sliding
lap.
across the S-lap, the chicane.
P11. Car right.
Oh, come on now, Declan. That was a bit naughty. What's that supposed to be?
Right side. Clear right. On your right.
Already got enough troubles.
Right side's clear.
Clear on the right.
Okie dokie. I think we only got one more lap. We're going to have to fuel. I could claim these are special tactics. I've got somebody else claiming that Lord Nem is a real lord this week. I'm beginning to suspect a little bit of planting is going on here. He's in sight, everybody. He's just a couple of places ahead of me. I especially went off there just so you could get a look at Lord Nem before I pit. See if we can't get around Trippiana. Got just enough fuel to get another lap in, I think. I think I will be ending up pitting twice because there's no way.
That's half fuel. You
Just
used
lucky, I
half your
guess.
fuel.
But it's an interesting route, Trippiana. That this race allows refueling, otherwise I'd have been out. Having loaded the wrong setup with the wrong fuel levels. I should by rights be murdering this lot because I've got no. My car's as light as a feather.
Running low on fuel.
P16.
Okay, you can box this lap. After we do a bit of stunt drifting.
White flag.
Worried about the car, seems really twitchy on the curves with the quality setup on. The race setup was a bit gentler. Not so tricky over the curves. Well, there's a bunch of people who had a couple of people had a drive through. So we'll really have to stop 30 seconds while we fuel up as well. So gotta have a lot to do. Pit stops are a fixed length of 30 seconds.
The guy behind's reeling you in. The gap's now 0.42.
So the driver behind me is actually Balokon, who did one of a drive-through, so he's already behind me. Oh, he isn't. Balokon didn't have a drive-through this week. He must have had an incident to start.
201.00. Okay, Stevie. Hold your nerve. Just keep it smooth. No mistakes. Car right. Still there.
Clear on the right.
Clear right. 2 litres remaining. Left side. Clear left.
Just entered the pit lane to make a stop.
Just hope these pressures work out, really. Right, where's my garage? We're right down there at the end. Oh, I've got bodywork. Well, I may as well get it fixed. We're in the middle of nowhere anyway. Three seconds of repairs won't make much difference at the moment. That was a very slow approach to pits. Now, what would really make a difference for us is if it suddenly started raining. But with the quality setup and rain, I think I'd just die. So maybe not a good idea. Just hope these tyre pressures are okay.
Mandatory stop is now clear. Let's go.
Well, let's go. Let's see what we can manage.
He takes it, it's clear.
It's 50 seconds behind the nearest car, so... Well, we showed some good pace last night, so let's have a good old go at this. Sajek and Farello were doing 202s. Roth was doing a 204. See if we can get closer, see where Lord Nem is. Though actually he should be visible, shouldn't he? Pay attention to getting around the chicane. Lord Nem's up to 14th, doing well.
You're last.
Thanks for that, crew chief. That's very motivational. Tire pressures don't seem too bad. A little bit low at the back, just within tolerances at the front. .205 for Roth. Give you an idea, they've only just... Roth, who's running last at the moment, has just crossed the start-finish line. We're just coming on to the back straight.
That was 2:04.50. That's your best lap in this session.
So only made half a second up on rough, so it'll take a long time to catch him at that rate, so I need to go quicker. Well, currently we're going slower. Well, I was a little bit quicker.
Time was 2:04.39. Good lap. That's your best in the session.
It's just a shame that this is a track where we'd really be competitive and I spoon it up. See if we can catch people soon. If they've had a bit of an off or a bit of an incident, we'll have somebody to race against. Leaders are only 10 seconds away now, and that'll be depressing.
All right, Stevie, our refueling window will open after 1 hour 11 minutes and closes at about 1 hour 17 minutes.
So we could, in theory, if we really stretch it, get to the end of a race, which would put us right back in contention somehow. But I'm going to have no tyres left after a while. Guess we have to see what happens. Aigner is in the lead as usual. He's got about a 4-second lead over Hugo Rodriguez. So Breakdancers in second. And new driver Novotny, sorry, in third. Voodoo looks to be in fourth. So Novotny and Voodoo don't affect the championship in any way. Oh, that's off. I think we might have taken about 5 seconds out of Roth actually. It's looking like 55 and it was 60. is a poor lap though. Duque is the one to watch, really. He's in second place on the championship. He's currently running 10th. But Sajak had that drive-through. So he's got a long way to go because he's only in 20th. So at the moment, Duque would hang on to second place because Sajak's so far back. That's a sloppy lap from me, really. This is me all over. Really bad lap, followed by a pretty good one. So for this amount of fuel on board, to be heading into a 203. Oh, but he only spoons it up on the hairpin. Too overconfident then. Lost all that advantage I had. Gutierrez in the pits, so that's going to give us something to aim for. Agner's just 2.5 seconds behind me though now. First of the people to come through. Agner finally confessed that he'd only just bought ACC just prior to this season and barely even touched the game before he did his test laps to qualify for the season. And then his reason he's improved so much is because he's simply gotten used to ACC as a racing game as the season's gone on, and he's clearly in the wrong tier. Come on, you piece of shit.
That's the blues. He'll have to pull over now.
Seem to get that here, that tyres don't grip and then they do grip. Next thing you've gone off a completely different angle to what you wanted. Last night it happened just here. I suddenly went off to the right. Tyres slipped, then gripped. Meanwhile, I've lost 3 seconds trying to catch Roth. Not have offs. Still says 23 entrants, but I can't see what happened to Coutier. He was in the pits. No, maybe we made up a place. I think Coutier's behind us. This is a poor lap. Lord Nem down to 17th. Something must have happened to him.
B22.
Don't think I've driven around here with this much fuel in the car. It feels all right, actually. Certainly through the S's. I think the weight is pulling me into the tarmac. That was lovely. Usually when I try and do that, I end up bloody sliding everywhere. Very touch and go. It's going to be very touch and go on fuel. Normally 105 litres or so for an hour. We've got 1 hour and 5 minutes. I've got 99 litres in, so it's really, I think it's going to be too tight.
That lap was at 2:04.00.
Not me. Personal fastest lap.
Okay, Stevie, that's good consistency. Keep it up.
Wow, Agnes took off. Barely see him.
The blue flag is being waved.
I'm very sorry guys, but I am on a mission to try and make up some time, so I think the grip from my rear is a little bit sketchy because of the low pressure.
That's a blue flag.
I'll just open the bloody door by him, making a right ass of that.
Car left.
Clear on the left.
Still there.
Car on the left.
Clear left.
Clear on the left.
Blue flag. Second place. Car right. Clear right.
Seemed really loose there, Novotny, but he's in third place and he qualified on pole, so whatever he's doing works for him. Tripiana who's ahead of us now. They're already past the start-finish line though. Looks like Nins is in 7th. Zashki and Erti as well. I'd say Rodriguez caught a lot of dirt then at the edge of a track. That would have cost him time. 205 for me, that's a bit rubbish. I think these two squabbling with each other is letting Agner get away. But Rodriguez looks in a good position, I think, to move up the championship table. He's 8th place coming into this. He's obviously well in front, so he should grab a couple of places, I would have thought. As long as he stays up there all the way to the end. Still an hour to go. And I've only got 90 litres on, which probably ain't going to be enough. Always a bit scary when that happens. Unsettles the car so much you've no real idea what it's going to do. Takes it right to the edge, does Rodriguez, and I think Novotny's seen that was a way through. Novotny's through on Rodriguez.
Sector 1 is
I think
0.9.
that'll just be for the moment. I don't think that battle's over.
Sector 3 times okay.
So Novotny upped into second. Is Rodriguez going to stay in contact? Am I going to stay in contact to be able to tell? It's pretty close.
The car behind's pitted now.
It's QTR. The only one person behind me, and it's QTR. He must be having a bit of a nightmare. Stop braking for that. Keep braking for 130R and it's unnecessary.
B22.
That's a blue flag.
No, this is depressing because I was actually catching Voodoo last night in the practice race. So they've had me act together. I could qualify. I'd no doubt be having a good time in this race. Instead, I'm out the bloody back. Having to make way for him. Come on.
Car left.
Clear on the left.
Still there. Clear left.
That was close. Wasn't looking.
Roth ahead is pitting.
Okay, we got the first of the pitters. But I think my tyres are suffering already. We've got 55 minutes to go. Okay, Roth's in the pits, so this race is starting to come back to us. Pitting a bit early.
B21.
Oh, come on, you piece of shit. Does seem to overreact if you put a tyre too far over onto the curb. It's alright, sloppy laps going in here. 207 or 205. Come on. There's our first warning, and we're doing a really shit time as well. Well, one warning every 30 minutes will be okay, because that'll just be free, and we'll get away with it. Ugh. That's 2 seconds, another 207 lap. I've set up for a potential pit stop if I need it, so no more messing around with that. Somebody else is in the pits. Roth, who's still there, so that looks like a quit. My lock-on's in the pits, but that will be a normal pit stop. Oh no. He's only 8 seconds in front of us, so he's had his pit stop and come out in front. There he is. Well, the lock-on's usually up there, so that's promising, to be honest. It's a little bit early. I need to improve on my lap time and not be putting in any more 207s. Quite carefully came off the throttle then to make sure I didn't get another cut warning. So we only got 22 cars running. We started with 23. I think QTR may have gone. And we've already lapped Roth while I was in the pits. I think Roth may have gone as well. I'd expect most people perhaps to pit in the next 6 minutes. My big question is, will I make it on fuel and what will my tyres be like? Ivanovs is in the mix as well. I've got to get a shift on Ivanovs. He's 12 seconds up the road, so Gutierrez still going. Some big issues. He's a lap down on me. Maybe he had a disconnect. Always possible. But he's had his pit stop, and when I had a disconnect once, despite the fact you rejoin and you're like a lap or two down, it doesn't count as having done your pit stop. So he'd still have to do a pit stop, so it does imply he's just had massive problems. Maybe a couple of big offs and big repairs. Could have been killed, of course. But normally if he'd been killed, you'd expect them to be 2 cars involved. Give me a cut, don't give me a cut. Never did anything wrong there, officer. All my wheels were inside the white line at all times. Hell, this lap's an improvement. Locken did a 202 though, and I'm doing a 203.
Lap time was at 203, went 83.
Locken, of course, has lovely nice fresh tyres on. I think those sloppy laps I had of what have given me the gap to Balokon and Ivanovs. That 8 seconds. It's a lot of time to make up when they don't make mistakes. I get the feeling that the Bentley's a real handful on here, so Voodoo's doing well to handle it in the fourth. But Lock-On was really struggling on Gt4, I think.
The gap in front is now 8.3 seconds.
It's 8 seconds to both of them, and that's good. Don't get a cut, don't get a cut, don't get a cut. That will be a cut.
Warning for exceeding track limits.
Whoops. Don't know what you're on about, officer. That's halfway through the race, 2 cuts. Was a quick lap though.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far.
If Balukka and Ivanovs can fight against each other, I might be able to catch them up. Balukkon's through and Ivanovs. So it wasn't, I think the fight may be over. This could be another cut there if I'm not careful. Slowed it down a bit to make sure I don't get another warning. Car's really sliding bad. Pressures at the back are going right down. I've got a feeling we might end up pitting for fresh rubber. Not for at least 15 minutes.
The gap in front has increased. It's now about 10 seconds.
Ah, disaster.
Okay, Stevie, we're halfway home. We estimate 41 minutes of fuel remaining.
There we go, that's how tight it is. Going to need something. So let's pit in 30 minutes then, which is a disaster. Lord Nem, past Lord Nem in the pits.
Stay on it. This isn't over yet. P20.
So sorry to all the Lord Nem fans, but he's behind us. But I think he's going to end up with in front of us again in the long run, because I'm absolutely going to have to pit again. I think even if I put my engine map down, it's not going to help. 5 minutes of fuel. We'll try it. We'll put it to engine map 2. Next time we're on the straight. Oh, Yellow's having a big off there. That'll be able to be a place. Looks like he had a spin coming out of Denga too. Engage engine map 2. Wow, Kutia's 9 seconds ahead of us, a lap down. So tight on that. I thought I was going to get another cut one in then, but I didn't. Got Tripiana in the pits and Sajak.
17th place.
So we're making up places. Our issue is we won't have enough fuel to get to the end. We're going to lose them all again.
The gap behind is now 5.7.
So at the moment, recovered to 17th place. So you have the fuel to last it out. I'll be trying for 15th. I'm not sure. Change engine map. Might go to engine map 3. Maybe. Second down at this moment, but not sure how much that's a factor of tyre wear. Lap times are not particularly brilliant. Ertie's got a stop go 30 seconds. Speed in the pits, so that's a big help to us.
16th place.
So that gives Ertie almost 2 pit stops. I'm going to have to stop twice though. No, it's the same, yep, it's 2 pit stops, so we're definitely fighting against Ertie for this race, but he's a bit quicker than me normally. Engine map 3 it is. Trying to save fuel.
The lead car's pitting.
We're not doing amazing lap times, but I don't think we're losing too much. More people in the pits, I think, including Eigner. But he's lapped us, so I'll just be unlapping myself.
Gaining on the car ahead in sector 2.
P16.
Something's happened. The yellow flags are out.
Trappiano's off.
Car
Lap
right,
down.
clear right.
Trappiano, it's a tough track this at times. Looks like Trappiano's having a difficult week. So somewhat selfishly, I need things like that, get my places up. Ivanov's 10 seconds still. I'll turn the engine right down, so if I'm holding Ivanov's with the engine turned down, it's something we can hold a bit of hope against. In an ideal world, I'll save a bit of fuel. Maybe I'll stretch it and turn the engine back up with a few laps to go, but it's going to be really tight, and I'm not sure this plan will work. There's only 36 minutes to go. Where's the time gone? Nearly everybody will have pitted now. Nins is hanging on as usual for grim death. Damn it, Io behind him. I've been with Thomas Sajak behind me, so I want to take heart from anything. That's pretty good going from me to have Thomas Sajak behind me. Thomas H. Slope is third in the Drivers' Championship going into this round.
Yellow flag.
Be careful there.
Somebody else having trouble. Or has Trippiano just parked it here under the bridge? It's about the same place. Yeah, he has. Trippiano's effectively retired. He's been there for 2 laps now. Maybe the marshals are having a hard time recovering it from underneath the bridge. Ivanov's this, starting to pull away now. I've turned the engine down. That's what I'm going to blame anyway. That and my shot tyres.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
The gap behind is now 2.4 seconds.
Yeah, so I was just congratulating myself on keeping Sajak behind me, and he's closing in. I'm going to blame me worn tyres again and my engine mode.
There's a white flag.
That was a big off.
Blue flag.
Come on, then you need to pit. That'd have been pestering me with blue flags. Oh, he has pitted. Nins has pitted. Damn it, Io stayed out.
The blue flag is being waved.
Possibly the worst place to catch somebody in this complex of corners. Not close enough to get through yet. Now we're going to Denga 1 and Denga 2. Even less chance to overtake. Thought Urti must have been serving his stop-go, so Urti's behind us and he's already served his 30-second stop-go. That's impressive speed from Urti this week. Because he's clear of the penalty, so he must have been serving it when I saw him. So Sajak and Urti are fighting each other behind me.
Car left.
Clear on the left.
Hold your line.
Car on the left.
He's still there.
Clear on the left.
Hold your line.
Visuals.
Clear left.
That's really the battle now, with Erty behind me and Sajak right behind him, but I've got knackered tyres and low engine mode and my wrong tyre pressures. Tyre pressures are dropping fast, so
Still there.
I don't think there's going to be much of a fight here.
Still there. Clear right.
Surprised Io stayed out. What's that car running on?
Okay, Stevie, the next car is Erty.
Got most of the SVR team. Ferrari's closing in on me now. Yellon's behind Sajak. Don't know my fuel economy drive's working out. $15 laps, I'm right on the bubble. I might be 1 or 2 laps short. Erty pulling away from me. Sorry, Sajak, I am not going to make it easy for you.
Left side.
Yes. Ooh, he's on the
He's
inside.
still there.
Clear on the left.
Clear left.
Be clean.
Just lost concentration for a moment, and that was it.
No, Murray, I've got knackered tyres, wrong tyre pressure, wrong engine map. Just trying to hang on to places. 18th now, that's not very impressive. Yellon's right behind
The
us.
luxury of entering the pits in first place.
So Io eventually pits.
B18. The gap behind is now 1.0 seconds.
So what's different this week is the car's quite nice to drive. This is quite fun, despite the fact I'm nowhere and going backwards. I don't mind it so much because I'm enjoying the drive, which is not something that seems to have happened much this season for some reason in this car. I mean, this is in the qualifying setup for the car, which is edgy. It's so easy here at Suzuka in this car. I can highly recommend it if you're doing an endurance event to have a look at the McLaren, because it's a very, very easy car to drive at Suzuka.
Losing to the car ahead is second one.
18th.
Wow. Erty really pulled away from Sajak there. Big gap now between them. Perhaps no surprise behind me. Agner still in the lead. Declan Hume second, but he's not pitted yet. No, he's been going for some time too. Daniel Yellon's still hovering around in the background. "12 laps of fuel." Guy's gonna be tight. 13 laps to go, I think. Still 2 laps short.
That's the Blues. He'll have to pull over now.
Car on the left.
Car left.
Clear on the left.
Clear left.
So despite the fact Aigner's gone through, which would help me a little bit, still don't think I've got enough fuel to get to the end. Let's try engine map 4. I think the next ones are the wet maps.
P18.
I don't think we've ever taken a set of tyres this far in this game. an hour and 25 minutes.
Behind is now 1.2.
So Aris from Kunos explained that as your tyres wear down, the rubber gets thinner. They're not going to tread on them, but the rubber gets thinner. It's starting to feel funny, this. Got a puncture. Rear left is getting very low. As the rubber wears down, I think I'm going to have a puncture. Car feels funny. The rubber moves less, generates less heat, and the pressure starts to drop, but then it gets...
Blue flag.
Declan
Gap in
Hume.
front has increased to 10 seconds.
Something weird's gone on with Declan because there's no way you can go that far without pitting.
Car left. Clear left.
But if he had disconnected, he would have been a lap or two down. And he's got to pit, so if he doesn't pit, he's going to get disqualified. I can't see how a car can make it that. Unless he just tanked it to the brim. I mean, I made it this far, haven't I? I'm getting some really weird feelings from rear of the car. Pressure's down to 25.1. Very worried I've got a puncture. Feels like I've got no suspension at the moment.
That's 20 minutes to go.
What am we doing for fuel, crew chief? That's what you need to tell me. Yep, you had to pit sometime. So he made it an hour and 10 minutes. I'm trying to make an hour and 25. No, it's maintaining pressure on that rear left. Yellow's closing up again. Grip's going. Certainly my ability to control the car is going away. Pressures are really low. 26 at the front and 25 at the back. I'm really struggling to make that corner now. Starting to drive defensive a bit. 17 minutes to try and keep Yellow behind me with engine mode 4 on. Tyres that have done well over an hour. Oh, we're getting close. Very close. I think if we had one more lap of fuel. I'll be alright. but it's really still incredibly tight. Usually crew chief can't shut up, and when I want to know how much my fuel situation is, it's not a word. And Ivanov's is still only 11 seconds ahead of me. He's been about 10 seconds ahead of me the entire race. Lord Nem's a lap down and just 13 seconds up. I think Yellon may have had a moment. Suddenly he's 6 seconds, 7 seconds behind, 10. Yellon's had an off. Bad one as well from the looks of things. He's still not moving. My big worry now is fuel.
Okay, Stevie, relax, focus, keep it smooth. 15 minutes left, that's 15 minutes.
Give us a fuel status. Come on, give us a fuel status. What we got? Six laps, 2 minutes. Gives you 12 minutes of fuel. We've got 14 minutes on the clock. Not going to do it, I think. Yellon can park up and have...
His lap time is quicker than the car he's chasing.
12 seconds.
Yellon could pull over, find Lord Nem, have some cucumber sandwiches, and still beat me at this rate because I'm going to have to stop. Ironically, I still only might be for 19th place or something, but I do have to stop.
P18.
Because Lord Nem in 21st is a lap down. Oh, that was a big mistake.
Pressure also at the left rear.
Yeah, suddenly dropping a lot. It's 24 now, out the way left. So the decision may be made for me.
Losing time to the car in front.
18th.
See if the pressure will come back with a bit of cornering. That is unbelievably low, 24.6. I can feel it through the rig shaking as well. Car isn't happy. This could be an interesting one, got a lot of pressure on the outside tyres. It's not moving much, 24.5. Enough fuel for 5 laps. Should be 10 minutes. There's 12 minutes on the clock. It's being funny. I can't believe Yellon can't catch me. It's 13 seconds behind now. A new boy, Novotny, is in second place, but Agner's gone. Agner went through ages ago. So I think Aiden Agner's admitted he thinks he's in the wrong tier now. Now he's won. It's holding steady at 24.5. So it's just really low now, not flat. But my God, can't half feel it.
That's a blue flag.
B18. On your right.
Clear on the right.
Clear right.
I've got quite a gap behind me. It's not enough to pit and come out again though. So it looks like Novotny did get away from Rodriguez in the end. We'll find out when I do the highlight show. So maybe I saw the key battle where Novotny finally got through on Rodriguez and pulled away. I think maybe I'll have to capture me going into the pits on lap 3, and that was it for the rest of the race, if we make it.
10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left.
Yeah,
You're looking all right here. Keep your concentration nice and smooth.
How's my fuel level, crew chief? Told me for ages, apart from saying it's a bit dodgy. I should be able to do 5
okay,
laps.
Stevie, 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Oh my God, it's close. I've got it down to 10 minutes of fuel. That's 30 seconds over. Well, this is really close because I might have to do a full lap. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Pull this off and get P18. It's a crap result, but it's quite an amazing result. All caused by my own cock-up as well. So, yeah, I'd only lose P19 to be honest. Gucci has a lap down. So even if I pit, it's only one more place lost. The real mistake was being a muppet and loading the qualifying setup instead of a race setup. And I'm to completely compromise my entire race.
I think there's some kind of incident. I can see yellow flags.
White flag.
Okay, God, that was a bit frightening then. Gucci was like spinning in the middle of a track. Well, there you go. Gucci has P20, so I can pit for quite some time before Gucci is going to be able to come back through. I think he's going to tell us that this track is a nightmare for him. Whereas I've had a few half spins where the car's suddenly gripped up at an unusual angle. But I've not really had anything bad. No bad spins, which is it's good. For a track that's so scary. And I've only had 2 warnings either. I think now I'm going too slow to get any warnings. We get a cut warning now. Nope, you're too slow to get a cut warning. I don't think I've got enough fuel. Despite crew chief telling me I had 10 minutes worth. Only got 3 laps of fuel.
The gap behind is now 11 seconds.
So I'll have a pit and come out. QTR's too far away because he's just right behind me now. There's a lap down. And Yellon will be far too far away because he's only 11 seconds behind me. So he'll have 30 seconds with like just a few minutes to go. No chance catching that up. So just trying to stretch it to see if I can hold on to P18 or taking P19. Not a great result, not a great season. GT4s are next. I'll get the details on for the highlights show for the GT4 season. But that'll be starting up in a few weeks' time. And I'll be driving my beautiful 718 Boxster, Cayman, I should say it's a Cayman GT4. It's the closest to my car. I don't have a horrible 718 though, I've got a nice 987. Focus. Although I found GT4s a little bit more fun. Yes, they're a bit slower, but they're a bit more chuckable. Setup's easier to work out because there aren't as many things to change. And I think it does drive a bit like my real life car, which is pretty good actually for a computer game. It does feel very similar in many ways. So I shall enjoy a nice proper season of GT4s. That's going to take us through to Christmas, I think. The next GT3 season is going to be in the new year.
5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left. All right, Stevie, keep it nice and smooth. Come on, let the race come to us.
There's also going to be some social races because the new DLC content comes out, I think tomorrow or Thursday.
5 minutes of fuel,
including Imola circuit. I think, to be honest, I think Kunos wanted to do both Imola and Magny-Cours, which were both in the 2020 season, and I bet they couldn't get Magny-Cours finished off. So that's why they were so quiet about it and surprised us. Don't blame them, there's a lot going on in the world. It's very difficult to come up with new content when your workforce is scattered everywhere. So we have Imola, which I'm more than happy with.
18th.
And there's 2 new cars. There's a new Mercedes variant and a new Ferrari 488 variant. But they're not real new cars. They're just probably physics tweaks. Kind of half wish Kuchar would go through. I'm a real crippled target at the moment.
Car left.
I'd rather not have him in my mirrors, to be honest.
Clear on the left.
Clear left.
Right, I've only got enough fuel for 1 lap. It's not enough. So that's it. We're going to lose P19. Tried, but failed. Put it back down to engine Met 1.
Fuel is running low.
P18. Very little fuel left.
The blue flag is being waved.
Oh, what happened there? It's like Rodriguez is had a bit of a mare as well. That's disappointing. Tried very hard there to stretch the fuel, just 3-4 more minutes. Couldn't be done.
That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
Tyres are really short. Cars now all over the road, is that bad? So, a bit of a disappointing race for a track that really suits this car. It should have been a good result, but I can't go around grumbling about the car. It was my mistake. So a shame. Not a great way to finish the season off, but it's not been a very enjoyable season regards results.
Give me the final push.
Could even park up, to be honest. No wait by the finish line. Yellow's going to get past me. Set the
2
pit stop up.
litres remaining.
Yellow's not going to believe his luck. If only he knew I've been stretching these tyres for an hour and 20 minutes or so. I'm not going to make it. Pace is gone. Oh, don't get a bloody drive-through at the end.
Very aware the race is
I think I've got a drive-through as well.
lost in the pit lane. He's coming in for fuel and a fresh set of tyres.
Okay, Stevie, should be coming out into clear air. When we exit the pits, we should be in position 19.
I think I'm going to come last. I think I've got a drive-through. So that's makes it an ultimate farce of a race for me. Really bad prep by me. God, I can't stop in a straight line.
He's on his last lap now.
To have a stop go, I think I'll be demoted to last. So, possibly. Ten seconds.
Come on, go.
Find out in the next few seconds.
I think there's some kind of incident. I can see yellow flags.
White flag, mate.
Neither has finished the race.
Oh, I've just finished across the finish line behind me. We didn't get a penalty. Bloody hell, that was so lucky. I'm so lucky at this track. About every time I got in the pits, I've carried loads of speed over the line. So I'll lap down on everybody from 2 stops, really, and it should be a lap down. Shouldn't be that far off the pace. So a really poor result, to be honest. Lord Nem's quite a way behind us. He's had a bit of a disaster. Tell you what, car feels good. Did get the tyres massively over pressure. No wonder I'm sliding everywhere. Well, at least it didn't really matter for a championship or anything. Dookie and Farrell are really finding it out there, but Lock-on's 10th, Farrell's 12th. New boys is going to get himself in trouble for using chat while we're still racing. This thing's a bit of a bucking bronco with these overinflated tyres. So some very rude people out there.
P18, that's the end of the race. Never mind.
Well, there you go. That was a bit of a farce on my behalf. But that is the end of season 9. Let's go back to the garage. So the results. Aida, we knew, had won the championship last time out. Rodriguez will have enough points, I think. I've not even seen Conor McCarthy. I don't think McCarthy turned up, did he? No, he's not. So Rodriguez certainly goes up a place to 8th. Balocon may hang on. We're pretty tight between Balocon and Rodriguez. Coutier had a nightmare, so he'll drop out, I think. So, yeah, Rodriguez may get a couple of places, I think. Balocon will move up. But we won't know for certain. I think for certain Mamoduke is second in the Drivers' Championship, and I think Sajak may just hang on to 3rd. I don't know why Nins is just bigging himself up. Sajak thinks he's lost. He's come 15th. But Ragnarsson's 9th. I'd have to look up the points. So let's go and look up the points. Agnew 1. New guy 2nd. Rodriguez 3rd. Voodoo 4th. Nils thinks I'm going to sort out a pirate flag for him. He's wrong. I can't be bothered. I've got other things to do than hunting down pirate flags. I'm going to be miserable. No, Voodoo is too far out. Pajashki's too far out. And then 6. $340 points. Declan Hume. What was going on with Declan? I don't know, I managed to push his car so far, but he did. I agree with that. Io. I was going to remove everything, I think. I'm not sure I've got the results now. Well, that's that. That's the end of season 5 of GT3 Championship. Coming up, we've got a special event in Assetto Corsa, if people remember that, if you've got that as well, actually. And that's at the full Nordschleife, the endurance track. So that's where you go around the Nürburgring GP track and then you turn left after the chicane and you head out onto the full Nürburgring. And then at the end of a Nürburgring, instead of turning right over the start-finish line, as you've probably seen Jimmy Robent do a million times, you go straight on and rejoin the GP track, do a circuit in the GP track, and then back out onto the Nordschleife again. 2 hours of that is the current plan, followed by, well, they're going to put it on accelerated time. So at 10 times the time, so 2 hours is 20 hours. And they might make it 2.4 hours, which would effectively make it a 24-hour race in 2.5 hours. And that is open to LMP1 class cars and GT3. So I'm planning on running the LMP1 class, LMP1, in the Porsche 919. Is what I'm trying to drive. I'm not sure if there's enough 919s to go around. But that is taking place on the 5th of December. But prior to that, the next big event for Beeswax Racing, we've got 2 cars entered into a GT4 Endurance Event, 6 hours of Kent at Brands Hatch. So 6 hours at Brands Hatch in GT4s. That will be on Saturday, November the 28th. Start time of 3 PM, and obviously the race will finish at 9 PM. So an early night for us, really, for endurance racing. I'm sure it'll take a bit longer. I think Crop's behind this one again, so it's going to rain, basically. Just if those that remember the 9 hours of Paul Ricard, or the 9 hours of rain of Paul Ricard, Crop's behind it again. So be ready for a bit of dampness and a bit of rain at Brands Hatch. So that's November 28th, and it's December the 5th for the Nordschleife. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed me trying to save fuel for an hour and a half. If you did enjoy, please leave a like. Please subscribe to catch the highlights, which are going to show you are far more interesting than watching me. Highlight show will be out soon, which will contain a full championship update on who won what. And we will see you then. Come back for the GT4 season, which is coming up very shortly, and come back for the GT3 season next time round, and hopefully we'll see you at the endurance race and have a notch life. Cheerio guys!